Katie, how you doing?
Yeah.
You think we can figure out how to work this thing? It's very complicated, but I think we can. What do you think?
Yeah.
Think so, Katie? Say something else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
This was a test. One, two,
Okay.
three, four.
Welcome to Craig Back Zone.
All right, because, hey, this is reality. I read this on Facebook the other day.
When I think of Off the Wall, it's been a while, but I know Spike Lee did a pretty cool documentary on it.
Hmm.
And was, well, not really surprised, but I thought it was cool that I guess he was, a star of going to Studio 54. And I
He
guess
was.
that was a lot of the influence of like what he heard there.
Yeah, yeah. So, and I'm a huge Michael fan. Like everything, like I'm a huge Michael fan. I read everything Michael and watch things Michael. So, with the Off the Wall album, what I discovered was that he met Quincy on the set of The Wiz, and they met, and he asked him to, he was asking him to actually connect him with some producers, and Quincy was like, "Well, I'll do it. I'll do the album for you." And so Quincy, that's how Quincy ended up producing that whole album. But he had like amazing people that worked. Stevie Wonder wrote some records on there. Rod Temperton, who wrote Thriller and some other big hits for him, he did some work on that album. Um, he was working with Toto, and they wrote a lot of stuff on his Thriller album. One of my favorite personal Jackson songs is Human Nature, and I love that song. It was written by Toto. They wrote it and played all the instruments, and that was pretty dope.
Very cool. Yeah. But even too, it's so interesting if like someone was to ask me what my favorite era of his, that would be like really hard.
Yeah, I wasn't a big Bad fan.
Really?
Although Bad had some dope records. It's funny because Bad was his first solo album or his first solo tour. Um, that was the first time he toured by himself without his brothers. So even like the Thriller album didn't have his own solo tour to it. So he's really kind of, but Bad was great, but in my estimation, my humble opinion, once Dangerous hit, it was just something. It's
It was
different shit.
over.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, history was definitely very cool to me. I remember getting, and it might have even been like videos from history. There was like a DVD at Walmart that I went and got, or maybe it was just, it was just like all his greatest like videos at the time. So this is
Yeah.
like circa, early Y2Ks. And I remember I got it and I brought it home. My sister jumped her. And I'm like, dude, you're gonna sit down and watch this with me. And so that's like my sister doesn't give me a lot of credit on stuff, but she's like she gives me props for that because she was like I would have,
Yeah.
you know, I don't. Of course, she would have known Michael Jackson, but like I really opened the
Right.
door to like this is crazy. Look at this shit. All of this. This is
Yo,
nuts.
Michael was just on a different stratosphere, and every artist who is an artist, myself included, we all owe Michael, so much inspiration for what he showed us and what he taught us just in watching him from never meeting and but just watching him, you just see even now I can go on YouTube and watch an entire, concert from one of his shows and watch the whole 2 hour concert and just be like, this is incredible. He was so far ahead of his time that you can watch a concert from Dangerous and feel like it was just taped yesterday, like, with everything he was doing, and that's pretty dope. That's dope.
Well, it's interesting that you say the YouTube thing because I recently heard I'm blanking on who it was, but as we record, Bob, like we had mentioned a little bit earlier, Bob Saget passed away within the week.
Yeah.
And one of his friends was like, with podcasting and all the interviews and YouTube, it's like, does anyone really like die? Because you can just go and access all of these things.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is like, spiritually, I feel like no one and later in life I've come to understand that no one, just the body dies, the spirit never dies. But I thought that that was really interesting as far as like to visually go and like go really look up anybody.
Yeah,
You know what I
no,
mean?
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. I just mentioned something like that recently to a person. Like you can, if you've done something of significance. Hopefully, person is living their life with some type of purpose to do something of some type of significance, whether it's people around them in their immediate world, or if it's kind of broad and whatnot. But utilizing your gift to do something significant, and that lives on. And so like you said, Bob Saget's and Michael's and Betty White's and all the people that have gone on physically, but everything that they've left us is still here for us to enjoy and to learn
Yes.
from.
All right, R.I.P. to everyone who we've mentioned here.
Yeah, Sidney Poitier, rest in peace.
Oh
Betty
my God,
White,
I know.
Bob Saget.
It was just kind of a rough start to the new year, no?
Yeah. There's just like this saying my mom would always say, like she would always say, "Death comes in threes." I don't know if it was like an old Southern saying or something like that, but once Sidney Poitier passed, and like a couple of days later, it was Betty White, and then Bob Saget. I was like, oh my God.
Like what?
Yeah.
Like what?
Thank you, Katie Black. You're amazing. Thank you,
I
love.
love your energy.
Yes,
I
great
do.
energy.
I love it.
What up?